Hi Taylor, my name is Victor Boyd. It's nice to finally meet you.
It's nice to meet you too, Victor.
It means a lot to me that you're willing to take the time out of your day and sit down and speak with me.
Oh, of course.
So before we go on any further though, I just wanted to go ahead and give you my business card. It has my contact information, work, cell phone, and my email.
Great, that's super helpful.
Yeah, so how's your week been so far?
It's been pretty good. Work's been a little hectic here and there, but aside from that, it's treated me very well.
Yeah, I completely understand how hectic work can be. So just to make sure that I'm using your time effectively and efficiently, we're just going to go ahead and get started. To make sure though, you said you had about 8 to 10 minutes to speak with me today?
Yeah, I've allotted this 10 minutes for this meeting.
Okay, and would it also be alright if I took notes as we spoke?
Please, go ahead.
Okay, so for starters, maybe you could go ahead and give me some background information on Five. For say, how large your current client base is.
Well, right now we have about 2,000 clients. We're growing at 120 to 130% per year.
Okay, and how many employees do you have to manage your client base?
We have about 40 employees that are distributed amongst 5 different teams.
Oh, wow. Okay, so in terms of communication, what current CRM are you guys using?
Well, right now we're using a web-based CRM in which our employees are able to choose their own personal CRM.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can vary between Excel or Microsoft,
Right.
Google.
Okay, so since the employees are all using separate CRMs, what effect would you say that has on operations?
Well, there definitely are some drawbacks. I mean, our employees really enjoy the fact that they're able to choose their own CRM and work in a format that they're comfortable with. However, there is overlap in reaching out to clients simply because not all of the CRMs align very well.
Right. Okay, and so on the topic of overlaps, right, what feedback have you received from your clients on this?
Well, with our 2,000 clients, none of them have particularly complained that much.
Right.
But I feel like there has been a loss in new opportunities simply because they really don't appreciate being reached out with the same information by multiple employees.
Okay, so as a manager, how do you feel about these overlaps?
Well, I definitely feel like they're unprofessional. They're not beneficial to the company. It's not a productive use of our employees' time or our clients' time.
Okay, moving away from communication, how well do your managers relay information to their employees?
Well, for the most part, they do a pretty okay job. The teams tend to use the same system. Not always, but it's a general trend.
Right.
So they can relay information fairly well.
So if the teams are using their own separate CRMs, how well do your cross-functional teams collaborate? How well do they perform?
Honestly, not very well. They tend to avoid collaboration simply because a lot of the times the CRMs don't align and messages get lost or it's hard to share the same information. So they usually work fairly independently.
Okay, so moving away from internal collaboration, let's talk about reporting visibility. How well do your employees track deals?
Well, our employees, they tend to do well to track deals on their own. It really can vary, though. A lot of employees have a good system set up for tracking their own deals,
Right.
others not so well.
Okay, and how about won and loss opportunities? What does the visibility look like for those?
Well, as a manager, it's a bit difficult for me to view those things. Um, Typically, they'll do the report at the end, and then they'll send that to me. So one loss, it really is not super visible to anyone aside from the employee that's working on it at the time.
Okay, so with respect to deal deadlines and them being met, could you describe to me the visibility with those?
Once again, that's not a very visible thing. Deals and deal deadlines, they're typically worked on independently by the employee, and as soon as they have it finished, they'll send it to their manager, who
Right.
will also relay that to me. So it kind of takes a while to get down the grapevine. It really depends on when the employee completes it.
Okay. So, to summarize what we've talked about so far, you mentioned that there have been overlaps in communication amongst your employees to their clients.
Yes,
But your employees do enjoy the freedom of choosing their own CRM.
that is true.
And that internally, employees to their managers and vice versa are able to relay information fairly well. However, when it comes to cross-functional teams, that's an area that could use some improvement.
Yes.
And with deal tracking as well as deal deadlines or opportunities, there's not the greatest visibility in those areas.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so with that in mind, how would you feel about a CRM that could centralize all this employee information?
Well, I mean, that would certainly be very helpful. We're in the market for a centralized CRM. That's what we're trying to achieve, and reaching out to these different companies to look for.
Okay. With the centralized CRM, what effect do you think real-time information could have on internal collaboration?
Well, I think that would certainly be helpful. I feel like a lot of our employees, since, they have issues with collaboration since their CRMs are kind of scattered, and we don't really have a form of real-time communication.
Right.
So it takes a bit of time for them to sort of reach out to each other and really collaborate together.
Okay. And with centralized CRM as well as real-time information, what effect do you think that would have on reporting and visibility in terms of deal tracking and other opportunities for growth?
Well, I mean, that would certainly be helpful. It definitely is a bit of a pain for deal tracking to take such a long time and reporting to take such a long time to get to me. I really would like to see more of the process instead of just the final product, and I think that sharing that would also help other employees.
Okay. So, with all this information in mind, what I'd like to do is go ahead and bring this back to headquarters so I can begin processing and finding a way to tailor Salesforce, our CRM, to meet your needs. If possible, I'd like to go ahead and set up a meeting for you, say, next Wednesday at around the same time, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that works perfectly fine with me.
Awesome. Terrific.